It's another edition of the Scheetz Kool Bus Sessions. My name is Chris Scheetz in the 1988 Bluebird bus with my good buddy Kip Moore. Welcome to the bus, my friend.
It's good to be here, my man. Good to be here.
I'm pretty excited because you said this is not the strangest thing you've done, so maybe we'll talk about that.
No, it's not. I've done some strange things in my life, but this is I'm right at home, man. I rode the bus for so long as a kid.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. I'm going to close the door, and we're going to head out. I liked when you asked if I'm licensed to drive this thing. Does that mean
I ain't just ride around with you, man. I'm not going to put my life in your hands if you don't know how to drive a bus. That's not going to happen.
Something tells me Kip Moore has driven with people, maybe when you were a young guy that maybe didn't have a license, so maybe that's why you're a little shy now?
I've done that myself, you know, and I was driving at 14 a lot of times, sneaking around, driving my buddy's car.
Well, that's cool. Well, let's start with school bus memories and stories. As soon as you saw the bus, you said they were all flooding back.
Man, there used to be this guy named Tommy. Tommy never jacked with me, man, but the guy was like the biggest bully on the bus. Right. Just tormented everybody, you know. He was one of those people that got held back like 3 different times. So he's like, you know. Right. He's 13. He's 13 when we're all 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
he's shaving.
Yeah, he's shaving. Exactly. And funny thing about it is, I run into this guy. You know, so many years ago by, you think I would let it go, but it's like all the memories of this.
Like tormented. Can you give us some examples? Like, did he?
Man, he just would, like, you know, when he get on the bus, come through and just start, you know, slapping people in the head, you know, stuff like that. You know, give me this, give me that, pushing people. You know, he was just a punk. You know, and I saw him playing arcade games in my hometown when I was about 19, 20 years old. I came home from school, and it all started coming back to me, like Celine Dion. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
And the counseling hadn't worked. Like,
no, the tormenting of Tommy had not worked.
Like,
man, I was literally just. I was so close to walking up to that guy and jerking him by his damn collar and just pounding on him in that bar. But I said, you know what, Kip, it's time to let the Tommy thing go, man. That was like 10 years ago, dude. So I let it go. But Tommy was the memory, man, that I have of the bus.
And something tells me that, you know what, he never necessarily won in life anyway, right?
Tommy peaked at 13, so... Tommy peaked athletically, academically, everything at 13. But
hero of the bus.
He was he thought he was the man for the while, man. Everybody was scared of Tommy.
What about the girls on the bus? We've talked to artists that remember like their first kisses were on the bus.
Hey, you know what? I'm not ashamed to say this. I never say names, but I'm gonna say it this time. I never say names. Crystal Swanson, man. She was like the bomb of the middle school. You know?
Yes.
And I can remember riding, you know, the games, and man, she always had me like wrapped around her finger. You know, I'd be dating somebody else, and we, you know, it was like the boys' basketball team and the cheerleading squad rode the same bus, and
oh boy,
you know, I can remember
that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Oh man, every time I'd get like another, you know, girlfriend, she would come up, she'd sit on my lap, she'd flirt with me a little bit, and sure enough, I'd dump the girl like pretty much on the spot, and I was right back with Crystal, listening to Mr. Big Be With You, and with our headphones on. You know, I'm the one who wants to be, and you think it's like real. This is the real thing this time. You know, I am in love. This is it.
Yeah.
Crystal has my heart, man.
Yeah, but then what did Crystal do?
I don't know what Crystal's up to, but I know that she had me, man. From 5th to 7th grade, it was like she would date me for like, I was like her main squeeze. Like she'd date me for like, you know, 4 or 5 months. Yeah. I'm head over heels in love, ready to go get a ring, ready to have babies in 7th grade, man. I'm ready. And then she would break up with me and date one of my best friends, get back with me, then date another one of my best friends, get back with me, date another one of my best friends. And I was always okay with it. I was such a punk, man. Yeah. I was it was like, whatever you want to do, Crystal, as long as you come back to me.
Well, Crystal Swanson, you lost. Yeah. Crystal Swanson, you lost. And you told the story in the studio.
How do you like me now?
How do you like me now? And as Garth would say, unanswered prayers.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes.
No, I hope Crystal's doing great. Crystal's always awesome, man. She was you know, when we got to high school, we would all kick it, you know. And she,
yeah.
You know, it was all good, man. She's a good chick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, not to make just talk about all the loves you've lost in your life, but you told a great story about Shania Twain, and you know, from the time that you saw Shania Twain, you were convinced you and her were soulmates. I
still
right?
think there's a chance. Man.
You still think there's a chance?
Still, you know, there's still a chance. Man.
You finally got a chance to meet her and see her, and she came up to you. Where was that at?
I was at the CMA Awards. She would never remember this, of course.
No,
but I sure do. Yeah, man. She came up. This was after her divorce, like fresh off the divorce. And man, she looked amazing. She came up, stood beside me backstage, and she kind of gave me a look, and you know, asked how I was doing. You know, just me and her, man. It was like the moment.
Yeah.
And I couldn't gather the words, man. I couldn't. I didn't speak English. And I didn't speak Spanish. Like a whole other language came out of my mouth.
Well, she hangs out in Switzerland. You didn't speak Swiss.
I mean, it was like it was awful. I completely just blew it. And she just gave me this look like, come on, dude. I was expecting so much more out of you.
But she actually had the like come hither me look to her before you started to talk.
I'm telling you, she had the wildcat in her eye just like I did at that moment.
She's only human, right?
Hey, exactly. I mean, come on.